Whether Donald Trump's like it or not, we are going to fight for the return of the land in South Africa.
The meeting between Donald Trump and Cyril Ramaphosa, it hides a very big secret. If you want to find more about it, watch this.
Let me see the articles, please, if you would, and turn the lights down. Turn the lights down and just put this on. It's right behind you.
There's nothing you can do. There's nothing this parliament can do. With or without you, people are going to occupy land. Must never be scared to kill. A revolution demands that at some point there must be killing, because the killing is part of a revolutionary act. Shoot to kill. Yamaza. Kill the poor, the farmer. Kill the poor, the farmer. Brr, pa, pa, brr, pa, pa.
But why wouldn't you arrest that man? That man said, kill the white farmers, kill the white farmers. And then he danced, and he's dancing, and it's kill the white farmers. I'm not sure the thousands of people that are fleeing South Africa right now.
And I'm the number one target. Please just Google my name and Malema. You'll see it, sir.
Yeah.
If you had to wind all of those facts properly, you will see I'm the biggest target of that rabble-rousing. Number one for over 10 years, Mr. Malema.
The reason that my party, the Democratic Alliance, was precisely to keep those people out of power. We cannot have those people sitting in the union buildings making decisions. We've decided to join hands precisely to keep that lot out of government, because the day they get in to the doors of the union buildings in South Africa or control of our parliament, that's what you're going to see. And that is why this government, working together, needs the support of our allies around the world so that we can strengthen our hand, grow our economy, and shut the door forever on that rabble getting through the doors of the union buildings, because then South Africa's future.
This is the world, the most trending topic right now. Everyone are talking about it, because the meeting these two leaders, it is something which everyone they've been looking forward to see since the white Afrikaners have left South Africa and go and seek for refugee status in America. Donald Trump, who opened his borders after closing the borders for everyone, especially people of colors around the world, which left many people talking about all this. But how did it all started? We saw President Ramaphosa trying to impress Donald Trump.
We can support each other. You are a much bigger economy than we are. We are just a tiny economy, but we rely on each other on a number of issues. We've got critical minerals that you want to fuel the growth of your own economy and reindustrialize. So we have that on offer, including rare earth minerals.
Shame, because it did not only stop there, but he even tried to win Donald Trump by providing him a golf gift, which is more dearly to someone such as Donald Trump.
And I brought you a really fantastic golf book. Weighs 14 kilograms.
Oh, that's good.
And it showcases the golf courses in our country. You might remember when I spoke to you and we spoke about golf, you said I should start practicing. And I've started practicing, President. So I'm ready.
But unfortunately, in return, Donald Trump jumped in and hit him back with this topic of African refugees.
Farmers are not black. I don't say that's good or bad, but the farmers are not black. And the people that are being killed in large numbers, and you saw all those grave sites, and those are people that loved ones going, I guess on a Sunday morning, they told me, to pay respect.
Guys, from this level, you can tell already that something is not adding up, because the temperature is getting even more higher. President Ramaphosa could have seen already that something is up to happen, because this is the exact moment when Donald Trump raised the first red flag that President Ramaphosa could have noticed. Now, Here's one of the biggest mistakes President Ramaphosa committed or made during this meeting with his homologue Donald Trump. It is the moment when he jumped up to go and collect the question, which was designed properly for Donald Trump. And President Ramaphosa, he rushed to give the answer to the question which was made for Donald Trump.
To be convinced that there's no white genocide in South Africa?
Well, I can answer that for the President. I'm not going to be repeating what I've been saying. I would say if there was Afrikaner farmer genocide, I can bet you these three gentlemen would not be here, including my Minister of Agriculture. He would not be with me. So it'll take him, President Trump, listening to their stories, to their perspective. That is the answer to your question.
Well, again here, I guess President Ramaphosa was just playing his card, isn't it? He was just playing his card because he thought this will work good for his diplomacy, forgetting that Donald Trump have his bombshell that is about to drop. Because when Donald Trump get a chance to shoot back at Ramaphosa, well, it did not go far. He had to surprise Ramaphosa with this action.
Let me see the articles, please, if you would. And turn the lights down. Turn the lights down and just put this on. It's right behind you.
There's nothing you can do. There's nothing this parliament can do. With or without you, people are going to occupy land. We require no permission from you, from the president, from no one. We don't care. We can do whatever you want to do. Who are you to tell us whether we can occupy land or not? We are going to occupy land. Yes. South Africans occupy land. That's who we are.
Honorable member,
you want to do,
Speaker,
you can withdraw my membership from this useless parliament.
Honorable. Yes, honorable member.
Must never be scared to kill. A revolution demands that at some point there must be killing, because the killing is part of a revolutionary act. Shoot to kill, Yamasa. Kill the poor, the farmer. Kill the poor, the farmer. Brr, pa, pa, brr, pa, pa. To kill, Yamasa. Kill the poor, the farmer. Kill the poor, the farmer.
The mayor of DA in PE is a white man. So these people, when you want to hit them hard, go after a white man. They feel a terrible pain because you have touched a white man. Not because Mashaba and Soli will not be touched. They will be touched, don't worry. But we are starting with this whiteness. We are cutting the throat of whiteness.
Shoot to kill, Yamasa. Kill the poor, the farmer. Kill the poor, the farmer. Brr, pa, pa, brr, pa. Shoot to kill, Yamasa. Kill the poor, the farmer. Kill the poor, the farmer. Brr, pa, pa, brr, pa, pa.
I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I'm saying to you, we have not called for the killing of white people, at least for now. I can't guarantee the future.
Yeah, but I mean, you'd understand somebody watching that, especially as it gets shared on Twitter, they freak out. It sounds like a genocidal call.
Cry babies.
Sizogoshaya uzobalega sizobadula bazobalega sizobadula bazobalega.
We will expropriate land without compensation, whether they like it or not. If they object, they can seek refuge in America.
this is very bad. These are burial sites right here. Burial sites. Over 1,000 of white farmers, and those cars are lined up to pay love on a Sunday morning. Each one of those white things you see is a cross, and there's approximately 1,000 of them. They're all white farmers, the family of white farmers. And those cars aren't driving, they're stopped there to pay respects to their family member who was killed. And it's a terrible sight. I've never seen anything like it. Both sides of the road, you have crosses. Those people were all killed.
Have they told you where that is, Mr. President? No, I'd like to know where that is, because this I've never seen. But okay.
I mean, it's in South Africa. That's where.
We need to find out.
Now, it is if like this meeting, it was all about Julius Malema, isn't it? Because looking at how they all kept quiet and playing these videos, guys, it's all about Julius Malema and not for anything which had to benefit people of South Africa.
Look, these are articles over the last few days. Death of people. Death. 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 Horrible death. Death. I don't know. To pick anyone, white South Africans are fleeing because of the violence and racist laws. And this is all, I mean, I'll give these to you.
No, I'd like
so
to-
when you say, what would I like to do? I don't know what to do. Look at this. White South African couple say that they were attacked violently.
If you notice something, you will see that when Trump get a chance to screw up Cyril Ramaphosa, he did it with all pleasure. He could not give Cyril Ramaphosa a chance to speak, not even a bit. Even though some journalists, they were making noise in the background to tell Trump that, please, can you keep quiet and let the president of South Africa to respond back. Trump did not do that. Why? Because he knows that this is the moment whereby the entire world, they were waiting to see for Trump to come and tell everyone why he opened the borders for this South African white Afrikaners. So he took that moment and make use of it, and President Ramaphosa gets stuck. But at the end of the day, he was given a chance to speak. And President Ramaphosa, he said this.
And you know, the men that you saw, the people that you saw, that, well, those are officials. Those are people that were in office. They had one march, they had a dance in your parliament, whatever you may call it, legislature.
But let me clarify that.
Yeah.
Let me clarify that, because what you saw, the speeches that were being made, one, that is not government policy. We have a multi-party democracy in South Africa that allows people to express themselves, political parties to adhere to various policies, and in many cases, or in some cases, those policies do not go along with government policy. Our government policy is completely against what he was saying, even in the parliament. And they're a small minority party, which is allowed to exist in terms of our constitution.
But President Ramaphosa failed to take this moment. This is a very crucial moment, which is supposed to come out and pass a very strong message, not only to Donald Trump, but to the entire world, by telling Donald Trump that, look, even in the Bible, it says that you need to respect everyone and treat everyone with humility. And since you have the arrogance and think that it's all about America, you rather stay with your America, and me also, I'll stay with my South Africa. But he failed to do so. Do you know why? Because he keep on falling in the trap of Donald Trump, who did not want him to speak. He keep on interrupting him every time. President Ramaphosa did not speak well because Donald Trump was always interrupting him.
But you do allow them to take land.
No.
They do allow them to take land.
Nobody can
And then
take
when they
land.
take the land, they kill the white farmer. And when they kill the white farmer, nothing happens to them.
No.
Nothing happens to
There
them.
is criminality in our country. People who do get killed, unfortunately, through criminal activity, are not only white people. Majority of them are black people. And we have now
The
been
farmers
utilizing.
the farmers are not black.
We
I don't say that's good or bad, but the farmers are not black. And the people that are being killed in large numbers, and you saw all those grave sites, and those are people that loved ones going, I guess on a Sunday morning, they told me, to pay respect to their loved ones that were killed. Their heads chopped off. They died violently.
President Ramaphosa, he speaks about what the ANC or himself have learned from the leader or the former president of South Africa, Nelson Mandela. Well, we all know who's Nelson Mandela, isn't it? For the beautiful works that they have done, how to handle different matters, and how he succeed to bring this Africanness to the table in order for them to start organizing election in South Africa. Well, we are also grateful to that. But come to think of it, when you take someone such as a Donald Trump, and you take this kind of diplomacy put on the table, will it work? Do you think Donald Trump does even have respect for someone such as Nelson Mandela? I doubt. Because if that was the case, I don't think he would have been opening the borders and encouraging white South Africans to leave South Africa to go to America. So you can tell already that this kind of diplomacy, which President Ramaphosa tried to talk about here, it was all in vain.
We were taught by Nelson Mandela that whenever there are problems, people need to sit down around a table and talk about them. And this is precisely what we would also like to talk about, including, of course, trade matters, investment matters. So the issues that concern you as the United States.
Those are all racist. Those are all deaths.
Yeah.
Regardless of all this, Trump is still not being convinced.
Well, I haven't made up my mind. I hate to see it from the standpoint of South Africa, but also, I'm trying to save lives.
Regardless of the questions and everything's diplomacy which President Ramaphosa tried to play, Trump is still not being convinced. I'm not surprised after all. Why? Because how can you convince someone who already have or conclude something in his mind about you? This kind of a person, you need to go with them toe for toe so that they'll get to understand that they're not the only one who have everything or every tools in their possession in order for them to hit you. But unfortunately, that was not the case.
But you do allow them to take land.
No.
You do allow them to take land.
Nobody can
And then
take
when
land.
they take the land, they kill the white farmer. And when they kill the white farmer, nothing happens to them.
No.
Nothing happens to them.
There is criminality in our country.
Trump, he goes on saying that people are fleeing South Africa because they are fear of their life. That is a serious allegation. And so far, we all know that it's only 59 people who have reached America. But according to Trump, he's telling us that there are thousands of people who already apply and they are coming to the US. If you notice something, you'll see that already on the site of a President Ramaphosa, he was running out of bullets because Akiri, all the bullets that he applied to shoot back on Donald Trump, it seemed not to be working because Donald Trump seemed to be wearing that solid proof. And that's become a bit challenging for President Ramaphosa. So he had to now invite in or call the president of DA, John Stenizen, to come to his rescue. Maybe this will convince Donald Trump.
John?
Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Yeah.
Mr. President, thank you for welcoming us to the White House. I would say we have a real safe profit in South Africa. I don't think anyone wants to candy coat that. And it requires a lot of effort to get on top of it. It's going to require more policing resources. It's going to require different strategy to be able to deal with it. But certainly the majority of South Africa's commercial and smallholder farmers really do want to stay in South Africa and make it work. And I've just come from the largest agricultural show in the Southern Hemisphere with organized agriculture and farmers, and the majority of them want to stay. But they too there have a memorial to those who've died as a result of farm attacks. And as the Minister of Agriculture, it is something that I'm particularly exercised with my colleagues of police and my colleagues in the justice cluster to start making farm attacks and stock theft a priority crime. And it affects all farmers in South Africa, particularly stock theft. It has a disproportionate effect on smallholder black farmers. I also want to just say this, that the two individuals that are in that video that you've seen are both leaders of opposition minority parties in South Africa. Umkhonto weSizwe under Mr. Zuma and the economic freedom fighters under Mr. Malema. Now, the reason that my party, the Democratic Alliance, which has been an opposition party for over 30 years, chose to join hands with Mr. Ramaphosa's party was precisely to keep those people out of power. We cannot have those people sitting in the union buildings making decisions. And that is why after 30 years of us exchanging barbs across the floor in Parliament and trying to get one over on each other, we've decided to join hands precisely to keep that lot out of government. Because the day they get in to the doors of the union buildings in South Africa or control of our parliament, that's what you're going to see. And that is why this government, working together, needs the support of our allies around the world so that we can strengthen our hand, grow our economy, and shut the door forever on that rabble getting through the doors of the union buildings, because then South Africa's future would be...
What did you note from John Steenhuisen's statement in the White House? Well, this man ended up exposing his plan once again of destroying the EFF of Julius Malema and the MK of Jacob Zuma, because according to him, he was very loud and clear when he said that these people, if they enter the union buildings, well, this is what's going to happen. Once again, the mafias of these people are being exposed. But President Donald Trump came in and asked President Ramaphosa this crucial question concerning Julius Malema.
South Africa belongs to all who live in it.
But why wouldn't you arrest that man? That man said, kill the white farmers, kill the white farmers. And then he danced, and he's dancing, and it's kill the white farmers. I think, I'm not sure, but I think if somebody got up in Parliament and started saying, kill a certain group of people, he would be arrested very quickly. That man is going all over South Africa, and that's not a small party. That was a stadium that holds 100,000 people, and I hardly saw an empty seat. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of representation.
With this question of Donald Trump in mind, this is where President Ramaphosa is supposed to be coming out to defend the South Africa sovereignty, not to defend the individual Julius Malema, but to defend the South Africa sovereignty. Because if you see whatever Julius Malema has been doing so far, it is him trying to defend the South Africa sovereignty. And this is where President Ramaphosa is supposed to come and join Julius Malema by telling Donald Trump simple things. For an example, like, no, we are a sovereign country and our democracy requires 1, 2, 3, 4. The matters that Julius Malema is raising, does it make sense or not? Is he saying the truth or not? If he's saying the truth, what can we do in order for us to fix this? If he's lying, then we can see on how we can stop him. But unfortunately, President Ramaphosa did not do so. Instead, he chose to say otherwise. After that, we then saw President Trump inviting his friends, South African businessmen. And these men are the most powerful people in South Africa economy. They play a very big role. They are the one who get to decide everything around. Actually, they are the one who get to boss things around. Then he gave them the chance to speak out, because for him, he feel like Ramaphosa does not have nothing to say if these people, they don't have something good to say to him.
And thanks for the honor of being here. We've known each other a long time. We have spoken. You know, we're proud South Africans. I still have my South African passport. We travel with this passport, you know, and I got my visa here. So, you know, but we want to see things get better in our home country. That's the bottom line. It's been 35 years since the transition. President Ramaphosa was right in the middle of the transition time, 1990, and before that. So it's been 35 years of ANC government, and I know there's a lot of anger through the transition. There was also a lot of stuff happening in the apartheid space. We grew up in the apartheid era. But I don't think two wrongs makes a right. President Mandela, when he came out of prison for all that time, didn't come out with hatred.
Where did you do that well?
Did you see the reaction of Donald Trump? Of course, the man was so impressed. Why? Because these are his friends. Because these are the same people who are having the same skin color as the one of Donald Trump. But everything that President Ramaphosa said to Trump, he did not believe in him. He did not even pay attention to him. He could not even have the courage to look Cyril Ramaphosa into the eyes. But when it comes to this Afrikaners, Trump, he was so impressed. He feel like they are winning him over. So Trump went on and invited another businessman. And this time we're talking about Johanna Rupert. This man, he came in and dropped a bombshell concerning Julius Malema again.
Johan, please.
Mr. President, if you had to wind all of those facts properly, you will see I'm the biggest target of that rabble rouser. Number one for over 10 years, Mr. Malema. And I've been against apartheid all my life, and I'm their number one target. Please just Google my name and Malema. You'll see it, sir. Yeah. He marched on the floor.
The crime is bad.
The crime is terrible, sir, but Mr. Steenhuisen won't admit to it, but he runs the Western Cape, where I live. And the biggest murder rate is in the Cape Flats. Gangs. We've got gang warfare. Like your M33, what with these guys. We've got equivalents there. But we need your help, sir. And we need Elon technology.
Guys, every time I keep on saying that this country is ruled by a group of people or some individuals who are controlling everything from heaven to the earth, you guys feel like I'm exaggerating. You guys feel like I'm talking too much, or maybe I'm saying things that I don't memorize. But come to think of it, you see them, all of them, and trust me, whatever Trump will take as a reactions, he will take it according to what they had discussed with these people, not what President Ramaphosa discussed with him. Because here, the message is loud and clear. And these are the people who can convince Trump a little bit on certain things. But as for Ramaphosa, Trump is not convinced at all, because he end up saying again things which you can't even imagine.
People who do get killed, unfortunately through criminal activity, are not only white people. Majority of them are black people. And we have now
The farmers are not black.
Donald Trump did not only stop there, because he ended up giving his opinion or his position concerning the upcoming G20, which will take place in South Africa in November.
So without the United States, the G20, just like the G7, used to be the G8, but brilliantly they threw Russia out. Would have been a lot better if Russia was in. A lot of people would say, oh, that's not it. Because if Russia was in, you probably wouldn't have this war. And if you had a different president, you wouldn't have the war either. But we have a G7. It's important that the United States is in both of them. I think without the United States, I really believe it's not very important. It's not the same meaning.
He maintained this position even though President Ramaphosa tried to convince him once again.
And I've said when I initially spoke to President Trump on the phone, I want him to come to South Africa for a state visit, and I also want him to come and participate in the G20.
Please note that according to the latest statement from President Ramaphosa, he guaranteed people that President Trump will be attending the G20 in this coming November of 2025. We shall wait and see, because so far we have not seen any declaration from the US government confirming whether Donald Trump will attend this G20 summit or not. Now, in conclusion, what do we need to take from all this? Well, guys, this visit of a President of the Republic of South Africa, President Cyril Ramaphosa, to the US It did not bring nothing. And we all knew this. We all know that it was going to happen this way. Even though we never wish it, by the way. But sometimes we only have to look the intentions of the people who are involved in these matters. Then we can tell already the outcome. Not only me. Julius Malema himself is the opposition leader who's being mentioned out there in all these matters. He also said the same thing. He even went far by telling Ramaphosa that he should stay over there with those 59 Afrikaners who are refugees in America and he should not come back to South Africa.
It's a waste of time. He's going to, if he wants them to start treating him differently and he's going to beg them to attend the G20, he's going to have to compromise some of the fundamental policies of this country, which were not prepared. If he does that, he must not come back. He must stay there with those 49 Afrikaners already. He must also stay there because he can't compromise our sovereignty for political expediency.
So again, President Ramaphosa, he had only one choice: to prove people wrong. People who believe that it was a waste of time, it was a waste of the money of South Africans for no reasons to go to the US. Because these men have shown already a lot of red flags. Disrespecting President Ramaphosa, doing things behind his back. This man, he had even humiliated President Ramaphosa from the moment when President Ramaphosa tried to speak with him through the phone call. Yet he still continued to do things otherwise. So you could tell already that the diplomacy of President Ramaphosa toward Donald Trump, well, it did not work. Why? Because he went to the US with a hypocrisy diplomacy, if I have to put it that way. When I'm saying hypocrisy diplomacy, is whereby you have the chances for you to speak the truth and tell the person the truth right in their faces. But you feel like, no, look, he's a president, I can't use this kind of language. I'm not Malema, I'm not Ibrahim Traore. No, let me just speak this way. But then you end up being defeated. If only President Ramaphosa could have been more open and tell President Trump the truth right in his face. Because when Trump speaks, he does not hide his languages in the pocket. He speaks his mind. But I'm very disappointed that President Ramaphosa failed to apply the same measurement that Donald Trump is applying to him.
The USA is interested in dominance over us by any means necessary. And we must stand up and fight for ourselves because we represent a historical mission. And that mission is the return of the land. Whether Donald Trump's like it or not, we are going to fight for the return of the land in South Africa. Where was the USA when our mothers were fed to pigs in Limpopo by white farmers? Where was the USA with its sanctions when Eugene Terreblanche was raping young boys on his farm before they resisted and killed the racists because no one will act against him? Where were the sanctions of America when a child was shot by a farmer in the Northern Cape for picking a flower on his farm, and we were told that this child was mistaken for a monkey? Where was the international community when the racists at the University of Free State fed our mothers who were domestic workers human waste? Why were our people who were stuffed into a coffin alive in Mpumalanga not offered refugee status in America? What does the USA have to say about the murderers of Flag Plus who roam our society today freely and have never accounted for their crimes? Where is the International Criminal Court to prosecute Voter Basson, Dr. Death, who used chemical warfare and medicine to poison and kill anti-apartheid activists? How can we be expected to reconcile with those who have never acknowledged these crimes and were never held accountable for them? How can we be asked to share our land, our resources, and our future with those who still believe that Orania and Volksstadt are their birthright in Africa, while the mass graves of our people are ignored.